members of the committee, patients, caregivers, good afternoon. My name is Dr. Neil Ander Thal. I'm the Public Affairs Director for the Cave Doctors of America, an affiliate of the International Cave Doctors, the oldest medical association on the planet. Thank you for this opportunity to address 2 points, namely, societal views on cave doctors and the medical community's views on ME/CFS. In testimony at the previous meeting, a certain patient opined that ME/CFS needs a diagnostic test, and I quote, "So easy, a cave doctor can do it." Plus his use of the large duck, suggesting we are all quacks. Ha ha, very funny. Like so much other tiresome, uninformed commentary, the testimony of Mr. Lanson ignores the clinical and research contributions of CDOA membership. For example, medical professionals everywhere are switching back to tablet computers for records access, such as the iPad. Well, we cave doctors pioneered the use of tablets in medical records shortly after we discovered clay. And yet, rather than acknowledging our contribution, commentators continue to demean and belittle us. As frustrating as this is, it does invoke some sympathy for the similar plight of ME/CFS patients, demeaned and belittled, much as we are. I've addressed the slander of cave doctors in many forums and hope, perhaps foolishly, that this time will be the last. This brings me to a suggestion for ME/CFS. For decades now, ME/CFS has been locked in a false dichotomy. Yes, that's right, we use big words too, just like Homo sapiens. A false dichotomy between a psychogenic model and an infectious model, or paradigm might be a better word than model. While there is some psychiatric manifestation in ME/CFS, I venture that Mr. Lanson is a clear example. Psychogenesis fails to explain many neuroendocrine symptoms observed. Meanwhile, the infectious model remains unproven, despite the many types of infectious agents investigated: viruses, retroviruses, bacteria, mycoplasma, fungi. Perhaps we need to look more broadly to other transmissible agents. One type of transmissible agent, I would argue, makes pretty good sense for ME/CFS. I speak of the prion, the conformational protein. Yes, I readily concede that all known prion diseases cause pathology and death that we rarely see in ME/CFS. And yet, mouse models show non-pathological prion infections in the lab, specifically by blanking the prion gene or deleting the GPI prion anchor. Researchers have created prion infections that cause none of the neuron damage we would otherwise expect. What these synthetic prion infections do cause, or do bring about, are amyloid plaques, including in one case, cardiac amyloidosis. This stiffens the walls of the heart and is one of the potential etiologies or explanations for orthostatic intolerance. Setting aside pathology for a moment, think of the ways known prion diseases manifest: sleep disturbance, emotional lability, cognitive dysfunction. Hello? If a cave doctor can see the parallels, perhaps Homo sapiens doctors can too. Let's consider prions in light of the recent rituximab study in Norway. We've all heard now of how killing off and regenerating B cells, the lymph node-produced memory cells of the immune system, reduced or eliminated ME/CFS symptoms in 2/3 of the subjects, yet no one is quite sure why. Here are some facts. We know that prions target the lymphatic system, including the spleen. We know that prions can infect the lymphatic system without prion protein expression in the B cell. What we don't know is how prions, as mere proteins without nucleic acids, convey information, disease or otherwise, thank you, beyond their shape. Could prions be exploiting information from the patient's own immune system in true autoimmune fashion? Look, I can't prove anything here. I'm just saying medicine needs to look at all the transmissible etiologies, not just the usual suspects. We at CDOA learned about prion diseases the hard way. It was a chilled brain salad at an association picnic, very ugly. So I hope you consider this model seriously, rather than using silly names like mad cave disease or perhaps lymphomania. Thank you for allowing me to address you today. And oh, by the way, if any of you see Mr. Lanson, tell him he has an appointment with Dr. Thal in a dark alley down by the river.
Thank you.